Let's try this again. I just went live and forgot to change the mic, so no one was hearing me. And I'm here. Hopefully now people can hear me. People can hear me because I set it to this mic. I'm hoping Katie is going to jump on and tell me that she can hear me. But I'm going to keep going until I am. So it's like 11:20 here in the East Coast, and I'm sitting here prepping, getting ready for my webinar that I've got coming up later today called Why Most Online Entrepreneurs Are Stuck in the 1950s and how you should be marketing in 2020. Now, we're going to have some fun. I'm going to be poking some fun at people. I'm going to be doing a lot of those things, but also teaching you how you should be marketing now and the right way to market. And funny thing, the reason why the sound wasn't working is I had this realization yesterday, which is when I do this training, I can't use this fancy mic. See, this fancy mic is great for my podcast, for anything where I'm kind of static, because it's literally built so that noise that's like out here doesn't get hurt. Like people aren't going to hear it, etc. Whereas, it's capturing only stuff that's here. And as I was kind of practicing going through the training yesterday, I remember that when I do trainings, these webinars and things, because I stand up for them, I'll be at my standing desk, I move a lot. I get animated. I do all of those things. So I'm actually wearing this shirt because a lapel mic will work much better on a button shirt than it will on my normal t-shirt. So that's the only reason I'm wearing a fancy shirt. I'm not trying to be fancy. I just need it for my lapel mic. But anyway, so I switched the mic off of this one. So you weren't hearing me when I went live a second ago. But anyway, the training we're doing today is going to be a lot of fun. Like I said, it's why most online entrepreneurs are stuck in the 1950s and how you should be marketing in 2020. And I've prepped it. It's going to be a lot of fun. But this morning, I was actually doing some work, and that's why I'm off center here, because I'm actually going to put a picture up here on the side of me. We're going to get all fancy with Ecamm here. But I was doing this work this morning, and something stunning happened to me, because people who know me know I market a little bit differently than most people. And I've talked about this concept that there seems to be magic in my business. Katie, my number two, it drives her nuts because we have sales come in and we can't attribute it to anything, etc. And so I was just this morning doing a little bit of digging because I believe that magic is part of the beauty of my business. And so what I did, I went back to the beginning of September and I looked at every sale of our signature legal product. It's $1,000 product, my template library. And I created a spreadsheet and then created a chart from it. And this is what we found, or what I found. My team wasn't even involved in this. The stuff that's in yellow that I say there is the guru way. Those are the sales that come from the traditional things that online marketers are teaching you. Funneling people, nurturing them the standard way, all of those things. That's that yellow part, the guru way. But you kind of might notice that that's not a lot of my stuff. And I want to be clear. I'm doing a lot of that. I'm doing nurture sequences. I've got lead magnets. I've got some funnels in place. I'm doing that stuff. But the reality is, even though I'm doing that stuff, it's less than a third of my business on this signature product. The magic is actually something really stunning. That is stuff that is because of some very specific things I've done. And so is the commitment. You see those, the orange and the teal. Those are sales that would not happen if I was marketing the regular way. If I was stuck in the playbook that the other online entrepreneurs are teaching you, I wouldn't have made those sales. And that's why, like, when Katie came on my team and, she's used to the traditional way of marketing, it was weird for her because everybody in the online space is like trained to do analytics, to do tracking, to do all that stuff because they're all stuck in the guru way, that yellow way. And so she's had this frustration. And when working with me, I don't think she has it anymore because she's like, okay, your way is actually better because it's not like we're not making that money. It's just that we're making all of this other money that everybody else isn't making. And it has to do with the fact that, I have a different way of marketing. You hopefully have seen that. I'm not using this kind of old style that literally, I'll just tell you, no one outside the online space is using anymore. No one. I mean, seriously, I'm gonna give you some examples during this training if you show up, where I'm gonna be talking about how the reality is that, like, if like brick and mortar businesses did some of the things that are like the orthodox way in online marketing, you and I would be like, what in the hell is wrong with those people? Why would they do that? But for some reason, we think it's normal in the online space. It's dumb. I'm sorry, it's dumb. Now, if you want to join me for this training to kind of, I'm going to walk through all of this thing and I'm going to give you, all of the little things. And yes, I am using a marketing tactic here. I'm not going to tell you exactly what the magic is here on this video. That's going to be in the training. I'm going to explain how I say that's magic, and I'm going to talk about the commitment, and I'm going to show you how I made this chart and all this stuff. But I will tell you it's true. If you want to join me, go to bobbyklink.com/webinar. And I'm going to tell you, like, if you're someone who's going to get upset if I poke holes in the things that you've been taught to believe as an online entrepreneur, do not come, because I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be going hard at some of the core things that the entrepreneurial teachers here, the gurus, have been teaching you and me and everybody. And I'm going to be going hard because I believe it's important to get rid of that bad advice. Again, I can't claim that I'm a genius and I came up with kind of a brand new way of marketing. What I would say is what I've done is I looked at how my dad ran his businesses. Like, he had pharmacies, and I looked at how he ran them when I was a kid and how he did it, and how, like, owners in the other world, and how Apple runs its business, and how GE runs a business, and how other businesses outside of our space are running their businesses. And I said, well, we probably ought to do some of that stuff too. And I've just brought it into the online world where we happen to be personal brands, where we happen to be these particular things, and applying that method has gotten me these results. And again, to stress, if you're joining me late, if you don't know what I'm talking about here, this chart is a breakdown of the sales of my template library, my $1,000 product since September 1st. Again, I couldn't go back further because I just had the idea to do this morning. And, I got to do some other stuff to prep for the training. But what you'll see is only a little less than a third of my sales actually come from the stuff that all of the gurus, the stuff they're teaching you to do. If I had just followed their path, I would be missing out on 68.5% of my revenue from this signature product. And I, luckily, if you guys know me, if you've been following me for a while, you kind of know I threw the rule book out the window. I mean, back in 2018, I started doing things that were different. And it started with like gradual steps. I mean, it started with me just doing things a little bit differently, like giving away a lot more stuff than most people did, not worrying about this. Oh, if you give away too much, people won't buy, which everybody talks about it. And they tell you, oh, in a webinar, don't give too much, because if you give too much, people might not buy. I don't follow that advice. I mean, again, when I go and when I do one of these trainings, I give as much as I can in the time allotted. That's what I do in everything I do. How much time I got, I will give as much as I can. Because my view is the more I give, the better my life's going to be. And that has proven true. And it's proven true. Like, we had this funny thing happen earlier this week. It wasn't about sales, but we had turned off all of our ads on my primary lead magnet, the privacy policy. We're just retooling all of the funnel, retooling everything. And we're like, the election is going to be expensive. Let's turn them off, get it all done and do it. So the leads coming in the door have gone down. We still have some organic and all that. But like randomly on Monday, I think it was, like, we saw this huge spike in people join, like getting that freebie. And again, it was one of those things where, Katie on my team always wants to say everything is Pinterest. She loves Pinterest. And by the way, for all of you Pinterest fans, we're now doing Pinterest. We are making an initiative there. I'm not doing it. I'm letting them do it, but we are doing that. But when we looked at it, I could guarantee you, I said, no, it's not Pinterest, because we could look at where the pages they came in on. And I don't know exactly what happened, but I can tell you what happened. Somebody in some group that I'm not in asked something like, hey, where'd you get your privacy policy? Or how can I get a privacy policy? And someone said, oh, go get it from Bobby. Those things happen to me periodically, and boom, I get a huge spike in stuff. And that's the stuff that happens because I'm not doing business the traditional way. Because I'm not just saying, oh, what do the gurus teach me to do? Oh, I should try to convert everybody and make the last dollar off of everyone. I say that's dumb. I don't hold back in trainings. I don't do that stuff. And so that attitude has built my business. And that's really what we're talking about in the training today that I'm doing. So again, if you want to join me in the training, bobbyklink.com/webinar. What I want to say though is like, it's cheeky, right? I'm going to talk about how most entrepreneurs are stuck in the 50s and what they're teaching you is from an old playbook and what you should actually be doing. But really, my point in it is to shift what you're thinking, to get you out of a box that these gurus have put a lot of us in. And I say this box because I'm going to use this example. There's a woman in my community named Alicia. She actually like took marketing like in college and had done that stuff, had marketing experience. But when she entered the online world a few years ago and started listening to the online marketers, she basically said, well, I gotta like, well, hey, I'm assuming it's Teresa, but thank you for telling your industry groups about me. I appreciate it. And again, perfect example. That's how I get this magic that, a lot of people don't get. I get magic because I just do these things. But anyway, back to Alicia. So she told me she entered the online space and like noticed that what they were all teaching was like, not what she had kind of learned about what marketing was and what, fundamental marketing principles were now. But she said, well, I guess this is what you got to do in the online space. And just so she started following the rules. And then she started following me. And she said recently, I don't remember exactly what it was, but she basically thanked me profusely for giving her the permission. I was like, I don't have to give you permission, but basically leading and saying, you don't have to follow that advice. In fact, you shouldn't. You should do the stuff that you know in fundamental marketing. Because again, if you don't, you're not following principles that have worked for a long time. And I don't know why we wouldn't want to do that. A lot of the stuff, and let me kind of get down to the sorry, not sorry moment here. A lot of the stuff that the online marketers are teaching you, it's the magic pill, Jack and the Beanstalk kind of thing. It's the fin. It's like going to give you a quick hit. But the problem is it's actually going to hurt you over the long term. Now, can you apply the principles they're teaching and make some sales? Yes. Now, if you do it right, if you do all the work, if you do all the things, yes. But what I'll tell you is, if you're relying on marketing gimmicks, if you're relying on sales gimmicks, if you're relying upon these kind of crazy ninja tactics and things like that everybody's trying to get you to do, and focus just on that, and not thinking about the actual fundamentals of marketing, you're not going to be here for the long term. If you want a real business that lasts, you have to be building your marketing on fundamental principles that have stood the test of time, and not look for the quick fixes, the quick hits, I'm going to bring people in and make $1,000 from them. And I'm going to funnel everybody and I'm going to try to get every last dollar. And how do I make the most complicated funnel and do all these things. And that's what they're teaching you. And I'm just telling you, that's which I go this way. That's the yellow part in the chart, is that stuff. Now, again, that stuff doesn't have to be sleazy, doesn't have to be slimy, but that mentality of let's convert everybody, convert. And again, I did one thing, I think it was a podcast, Friday podcast, where I at one point made fun of conversion copywriters, but it's really the whole industry is doing this. That's the yellow part, right? And that's it. But if you want the other part, if you want the orange and the teal, and again, the teal isn't huge in this one instance. We're going to redo this chart at some point for my whole year of sales and redo it. But I can guarantee you there's going to be a lot of that. There will probably be more teal. If you want those pieces too, you've got to stop just doing the conversion stuff and crap that all the online, gurus are teaching you. You've got to get to the point that you're actually marketing right over the long haul. And that's what we're going to be talking about during my training today. Again, I'd love for you to join me. It's starting in a little under an hour and a half, 1 p.m. Eastern time. So you can go to bobbyklink.com/webinar. You can grab your seat. We are going to be having some fun. Hopefully you guys know me. I've got a little bit of, I've got some antics there. I've got some, funny pictures. I'm going to try to make you laugh every once in a while. I'm going to try my best to not get thrown out of the club, but some of my friends might not like what I'm saying because I'm going to be telling you the unvarnished truth. So that's all I've got. I'd love for you to join me. Head over to bobbyklink.com/webinar. You can grab your seat and we'll go from there. And, I hope to see you because we're going to be having some fun. Talk to you later and have a great day.